I'd like to take this opportunity to be personal. I am autistic. Now, what autism is a developmental disorder that appears in the first 3 years of life and affects the brain's normal development of social and communication skills. As a child, I had no social life whatsoever, was never interested in sports or math, and the only place I felt comfortable was at a movie theater, where I became fascinated with images on screen. Now, not a lot of movies that deal with autism grabbed anyone's attention or made people take notice. Now, I know a lot of people are going to bring up Barry Levinson's Rain Man. It won the Oscar for Best Picture, but it didn't focus on the disability itself, much like what Philadelphia did for AIDS. But one movie released to cable TV seemed to take the topic very seriously and should be used to raise awareness. That film is Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin is a true story about a woman with autism who revolutionized practices for the humane handling of livestock on cattle ranches. Now, Temple Grandin was born in the 1940s, and at that time, autism was a form of schizophrenia and was usually blamed on the parent as the cause for the disorder and claiming that they were abusive to the child. But Temple's mother, played by Julia Ormond, refuses to place her in an institution and helped Temple adapt to the everyday world. Soon she would meet marvelous individuals like a boarding school teacher, played by Academy Award nominee David Strathairn, who was fascinated with Temple's visual skills. When Temple was at college, she developed this notion that a squeeze machine would help her ease tension because she had a sensory integration dysfunction and didn't like physical affection by people. Upon graduating college, she developed a new dip and altered the slaughterhouses to be more humane. One scene that was emotional for me was this scene at an autism convention where she describes living with autism and how it affected her and how she chose to live with it.
Well, I'm not cured. I'll always be autistic. My mother refused to believe that I wouldn't speak. And when I learned to speak, she made me go to school. And in school and at home, manners and rules were really important. They were pounded into me. I was lucky. All these things worked for me. Everyone worked hard to make sure that I was engaged. And they knew I was different, but not less. You know, I had a gift. I could see the world in a new way. I could see details that other people were blind to.
I watched this film with my mother, and as she gave the speech, she turned and looked at me. As I looked at her, I nearly burst into tears, because somehow I knew what she was thinking. What I learned from this film was that with autism, I was given this ability to see the world in different ways. Since I became fascinated by film, I began to know so much about movies at such a young age that it started to impress people around me. Having autism is both a blessing and a burden. But anyway, the film premiered on HBO in February 2010 and was praised by critics. It received 15 Emmy Award nominations. It won 7, including Best Made-for-TV Movie. And Claire Danes won Best Actress, along with the Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild. I strongly recommend this film, and if it is ever possible, please show this at your schools.